Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we cover the real news that matters to we the people. The China coronavirus has connections to former leader of the Chinese Communist Party, Jiang Zemin. For starters, Jiang is the grandfather of Jiang Zhiqing, who has a controlling interest in Wuxi Aptech, which controls Fosun Pharma. In January of this year, a few months ago as the coronavirus was first being reported in China, the Wuhan Institute of Virology applied for a patent on a U.S. drug, remdesivir, used for the treatment of Ebola and coronavirus infections. George Soros invests in Wuxi. We've previously reported on George Soros. We reported during the corrupt impeachment hearings how Obama's State and Justice Departments were assisting George Soros in his attempt to control the Ukraine. Former U.S. Attorney Joe DiGenova called out George Soros as a Ukrainian oligarch who is anti-free speech and attacks those who speak freely about him. George Soros is a major Democrat donor and at the same time connected to numerous actions around the world that are very suspicious, if not corrupt. At the time of the 2017 inauguration, we reported that Soros-related groups were linked to every major protest since the November election. Soros was interviewed years ago on CBS's 60 Minutes where he admitted helping Nazis during World War II. He helped Nazis steal from Jews during the war. Soros is a Jew. Note that even in this video he parades his activities in the Ukraine. Soros groups were reportedly behind the airport protests after President Trump's election. A week before that, Soros was reportedly behind 50 groups involved in the women's protests the day after the inauguration. Before that, Soros groups were connected to the groups demanding election recounts after the November 8 election, and Soros money was funding more protests during these efforts. And DC leaks released information showing that Soros funded Black Lives Matter protests across the country. President Trump called out Soros when a couple of his paid stooges attacked Republican Senator Jeff Flake in an elevator, getting him to cave during the Kavanaugh hearing. He tweeted, "The very rude elevator screamers are paid professionals only looking to make senators look bad. Don't fall for it. Also, look at all of the professionally made identical signs. Paid for by Soros and others. These are not signs made in the basement from love." We reported that a group attacking Judge Kavanaugh and other Trump judicial nominees was being fueled by dark money from George Soros. Later, Soros groups were connected to racial riots in DC before the midterms. In the past month alone, we reported that a Soros assistant was the official escort for 16-year-old global warming expert Greta Thunberg. Soros was also involved in the Russia collusion scam. He also has been involved with numerous politicians in Europe. In addition, we've reported that George Soros wanted to take over the oil and gas industry in the Ukraine. This may have been one of the reasons the Obama administration helped him there. So based on all the above, it is no surprise that Soros or one of his affiliated groups would be linked to the China coronavirus in some manner. We previously reported on Dr. Fauci from the U.S. Coronavirus Task Force and his connections to George Soros. We also reported on Soros's investments in Wuxi Aptech. Jiang Zemin's son is Jiang Mianheng, who is an ex-VP of the China Academy of Science, where he was responsible for the design, funding and construction of the P4 lab in Wuhan. The younger Jiang also is a partner with Chen Zhu, another ex-VP of CAS, who was responsible for the design, funding and construction of the P4 lab. He is now president of the Red Cross Society in China. The current director of the P4 lab is Yuan Zhiming. Mr. Yuan is a partner with Jiang Zemin's grandson, Jiang Zhiqing. This graph depicts how the family of the former head of the Chinese Communist Party in China is connected to George Soros. Is it really a surprise these people are linked to the China coronavirus? Let us know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share and subscribe. And check out democrepublix.com for the latest in news. Until next time.
We live in a real nightmare. We live in a real nightmare.